Welcome back to Shaw Spotlight. I'm here with Tammy Bush, creator of Sam's Tags. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Vicki.
So lots of people in the community know you for making these tags, and you've now started doing something new. But before we get to that, let's watch the video we made together on Sam's Tags.
Okay.
Finally!
Yeah! Every other worst day of your life pales in comparison to this. Sam loved to skateboard. It was his passion. He would spend all his free time at the skate park. Woo! Sam died by suicide in the early morning hours of June 2nd, 2019. It was the worst news that you could possibly get. You know what you're hearing on the phone, but at the same time, you just can't believe that that actually is true, that there must be some kind of mistake. Or kind of how I feel is like, you know, there's a big hole in my heart, and I think part of me died, you know, when Sam died. And I think he just forgot, you know, in those moments, how loved he was and how special he was and how needed he was, you know, and how much he mattered to all of us, and how much better our world was with him in it.
Is that you? Over there? Yeah, because that's Sam.
I had been thinking a lot about Sam, of course, and also about his friends and our family. We've all been struggling, and I would just think like about the things I wanted to say to him. If I could have talked to him in those moments before he made that decision. I also wanted his friends to know that, you know, they are so important and they are so loved. So I decided to make the keychains because I wanted there to be something there for when his friends went to see Sam. I knew that they went to visit him at the cemetery, and so I just wanted something to be there for them in case they needed it. And the messages on them are all things that I would have said to Sam, and that I wish he had remembered, and that I want others to remember, even in their most deepest, darkest moments. And then on the back, I wanted there to be something that if they were struggling in that moment, they could look at that and look at that message, but also have a way to reach out if they needed to. If that can open up a conversation, and as a parent to a child, to even say, you know, there's this, but I'm here too, you know, and you can talk to me about anything because I love you and I'm here for you, and
I brought you guys some more tags.
and I can help you get through this, you know. And we can make it through this. I think that if it can do that for people, then it's pretty special, and it's done its mission, its goal, its purpose.
It's such an amazing story. It's so powerful. I remember editing it, and it was just so hard. It was so emotional. I'm sorry for your loss. I can't imagine going through that. And you've managed to bring so much hope to people through Sam's Tags. How does that make you feel?
Thank you. I can't believe the impact that it's had. This has been, I mean, the worst thing for us, for our family. And I sometimes think like I just want to crawl in a hole and be sad and be angry and, just kind of hide away from the world. But it's not really my nature to do that. And it would be really easy to do that, but it's not going to change anything and it's not going to make a difference for anybody else. And the response from the community and the support from the community and the stories from people who have given tags or received tags really pulls at my heart and makes me grateful that, we've been able to do this kind of work and to help others, as difficult as it is. And as much as I wish we could go back, it does make those baby steps forward feel much more positive.
That's a good point. I remember when we were making Sam's tags, there was something you said that always stuck with me, but it didn't make it into the video. So I'm hoping you can say it again now. You were talking about how you felt like you were struck by lightning.
Yeah, it is like being struck by lightning. It's like being split in half. And, when you look at a tree that's been struck by lightning and the scars on it and sometimes the tree actually does split in half and part of the tree dies. And that is how I feel, in my heart, is that there's a big hole right now and a piece that's just gone. And I'm constantly looking for the piece that's missing. It's like the Roomba vacuum when it's running out of batteries and it's heading back toward its home base. And I'm just constantly reaching and looking for that piece for Sam. But along with that, there's another part that is, growing and sprouting new leaves and trying to figure out how to fill that. And part of what fills that is our family and friends and their love and support. Sam's tags is, such an important piece for me to help with that healing and making a difference for others. And now, the random acts of kindness as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. You have such a big heart.
Thank you.
Well, now you've created something new for your family and the community to do, the Random Acts of Kindness. Tell me more about it.
So last year was our first year where we celebrated Sam's birthday without him. And his birthday is March 30th. So as soon as it hit March 1st, it was like that feeling of dread, that this day was coming. And it's normally you're celebrating the birth of your child or your family member. And we couldn't imagine how we were going to get all the way through the month marching up to Sam's birthday and then actually, through that day. So last year we started doing on our own random acts of kindness. And we had little cards made and we would leave the cards behind as we did things. And we decided that we would do 22 acts last year because Sam would have been 22. And it was, just something for our family to focus on, but it brought a lot of, joy and happiness to other people. And so this year we were going to do 23 acts and the community just kind of started to jump in on it. Some of our friends and family who had participated last year wanted to participate once again, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then local businesses got involved, and now it is bigger than I could have ever imagined this year, with so many people helping us by sharing the random acts of kindness that they're doing. And for us to continue to do those acts of kindness. And I just feel like it's creating a lot of positivity in the community.
Well, especially during COVID, I feel like we need kindness and that positivity. You don't see a lot of that online. And now because of what you're doing, you see a lot of these posts of people being kind to each other.
Yeah. COVID is definitely, it's like this heavy cloud that kind of hangs over everybody all the time. And it's difficult because you can't really go out and be social and celebrate with people and just get together. So it definitely has given people an opportunity to be able to make a difference for others, and sharing it on social media, where, like you said, it can be a really negative space, and it can also be a really positive space. And so just, showering social media with all of the photos and stories of acts of kindness that people have done and that people have received and that people have witnessed has been just incredible. And it's really brought some happiness in a month that's really difficult for our family, and I'm thankful too.
So how did you distribute them? Did people request them, or did you keep them at businesses for people to pick
Both,
up?
actually. Yeah, both.
Oh,
There were some local businesses who asked to have them, so like it's listed of who has them, and then
yeah.
people would request them. So I've mailed them
Wow.
out to people in other communities because lots of people have requested them from even out of town, and as well, I've gotten them to people, or people have picked them up from my house. I just leave them outside, or whatever. So yeah, just trying to get them out there. And then I've had lots of people message me and say, we're doing acts of kindness, but we don't want to be recognized for it. We don't want to post it, but we're doing them, or we're doing them anyway. We don't have the cards. Is that okay? I'm like, it's all about kindness. It has nothing to do with making sure that you have the cards. The local businesses too, like just them, all the donations for Sam's birthday gift, like that's them being kind. Like, this isn't a fundraiser. And so it's just them wanting to be a part of spreading kindness, and their way of doing a random act of kindness is by donating gifts to give away on Sam's birthday. So, like, that's really amazing. They're not getting anything, like, as a local business, they're not getting anything out of it. And it's like you said, in COVID, it's been so hard for everybody. So that the local businesses want to be a part of this, is amazing to me, So, yeah, I'm so grateful, and they've made this, we're kind of looking forward to Sam's birthday now, because we get to give gifts to people, from all of the donations from the local businesses. So that's really something that I never would have imagined happening.
Yeah, that's so amazing that the
know.
businesses are helping out, and that you've been able to send them to other communities that they want to join in. That's so amazing.
I know it is. It's just, yeah, like kindness, right? It's just kindness, and people want to be a part of something positive, I think. And like you said, especially during COVID, and, and just this time is so difficult and challenging for people in so many ways. So, to put out the opportunity for people to join in, I think has also been a really positive experience for those people too. Lots of people that we don't even know, that are just being kind. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I think too, once you do something kind for someone, let's say you had a bad day, you have all these negative thoughts, it's suddenly replaced by that kind thing that you did or received. So your outlook changes for that day, because that small thing you're thinking about more than all the bad things.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, it can really turn someone's day around. And, because I work in a school, I see, sometimes kids have bad days too. And just to be able to have the opportunity to help them turn their day around, like, you see the impact of that. And then, yeah, at the end of the day, they remember the great thing that happened, and not, how the day started. So yeah, it's just like the impact that people can have on one another. They always say that you never know your impact, and it's so true.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. like even people who have, like everyone's received kindness from people from time to time. Um, and I'm always just so touched when someone, does something or says something, because it doesn't always have to be actions. It could be words too, right? And it just can turn your day around. Like, oh, even just something as simple as, oh my gosh, your hair looks so nice today. And then you're just like, oh, like, wow, yeah, but thank you.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people really needed that right now. And one thing you had mentioned to me too was that you're driving and you see people doing something nice for someone else as well. So I think that's amazing that you're starting to see it everywhere.
I know. I think so too. And that other people are recognizing it as well. There was one person who posted on the Sam's birthday gift Facebook page about seeing, a police officer pulling over on the side of the road and emptying out their wallet to someone who, they clearly knew and that was in need. And just the idea of, someone in a vehicle seeing that happening and then sharing it with other people is just warms your heart. Someone else had shared that they saw someone, giving food to people on the street, and that inspired them to do something. And so it's just it's magical. It's like the spirit is, catching on and rolling through the community, and it doesn't cost, it doesn't have to cost anything to be kind. It's just noticing, I think, people around you and kind of being aware of what maybe people need in any given moment, whether it's helping them pick something up or, helping them load groceries in their car or opening the door because their hands are full. It's those little things that start to ripple out and impact, that person who's impacted by kindness maybe will do something kind for someone else.
Well, I think too, because you never know what someone's going through. So just even a small act like holding the door can make such a big difference in someone's day.
Definitely, yeah. And I think too, another reason that we decided to do the acts of kindness was because if you talk to anyone who knew Sam, he was kind and he was generous and he was always giving from his heart. He gave his time. He'd give literally, the sweater off of his back to someone, and or his time. And as his mom, sometimes I would really get annoyed because, we'd be about to sit down to a family dinner and someone would call him and he'd be like, I gotta go, so-and-so needs me, or, and it's just so much of who he was. And so for us, especially in the month of his birthday, it's just feels so right, to try to really bring out kindness and share kindness, because that's just so much who Sam, is and what he's remembered for.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's a good point too when you said it can just be your time, like listening. It doesn't have to be expensive or an act.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be just as important, to give your time and be there for someone.
Definitely. And people have shared that, someone shared that their daughter is a pen pal for someone who's elderly and, doesn't have a lot of contact with people. And someone else shared about driving someone to the airport because that person didn't have a ride. And so they took, like 4 hours out of their day to go and bring them to the airport. And it's just those kinds of things, big or small, can make such a difference for someone.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What are some of the random acts of kindness you've done?
We have done a variety of acts this year. We've done things like paying it forward in the drive-through at different businesses. A couple of really fun ones that I found this year were I prepaid gas at a gas station for someone, and then I left it to the gas attendant to figure out who it was that should get it with the little card. And so that was kind of neat to see once they realized, oh, okay, like this is what you want me to do, really, it was kind of fun to see them, become a part of that. I did something similar at a local grocery store where I had gotten some gift cards and left them with the cashier to help. I just said, whoever you think could benefit from this when they come through the checkout, put this card toward their groceries. And it was like, I can give it to anyone. Like I could walk through the store and give it to someone. And I was like, yes, like just, decide who and pass it along and give them a little card so that they know. So though that was something different and kind of fun this year. I've done things like made little bags of dog treats to give to people when they're walking their dogs, or food packs for people, or dropping off some crossword books at care facilities so that people would be able to spend time, there's not a lot to do right now. So for people who are struggling or maybe lonely, it gives them something to help them pass the time and would be kind of fun too. So yeah, there's lots and lots of opportunities.
Yeah, those are lots of great ideas.
Yeah.
So would you encourage people to still keep doing the random acts of kindness even after March?
We will continue. Because there's always an opportunity to do something kind for someone, no matter where, whether it's popping a quarter in a parking meter as you're going by when somebody's meter is expiring, or helping them out, or somebody's down and you can bring them some flowers, or there are so many people out there. Everyone can benefit from kindness. And what I've loved hearing from people is just how it makes them feel to do something for someone else. And that's one of the best things, really. Who is actually receiving more out of that interaction, the receiver of an act of kindness or the giver? And it's a close call, I think.
Yeah, well, that's true. You both end up leaving feeling great.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks so much, Tammy, for talking to me today about Sam's birthday gift, Random Acts of Kindness.
Thanks so much for having me, Vicki. And I always say it's a great day to be kind. So go on out there and spread kindness everywhere.